Hey everyone, this is Tony from Tech Talk with Tony, and today we are going to do an unboxing video of the Cooler Master V650 Gold V2 White Edition. That is a mouthful. This is a full modular semi-fanless 80 plus gold power supply. It has a 10-year warranty according to the box here from Cooler Master. It's 40% fanless. Once again, it is 80 plus gold braided. The 40% fanless means that this is a hybrid power supply. There is going to be a switch on the back side over here with the power plug that if you press it in, anything under 40% load, the fan is not going to spin. So it'll be a mostly quiet design for a lot of people unless you're doing some very heavy gaming on this 650 watt machine. We're going to go ahead and flip it over here, and we're going to get to the back of the box. And as you can see, once again, it is the version 2 of this V650. I was able to get a hold of a V1000 back a long time ago, 7 years ago, and was able to review that. That is also on this channel, at least an unboxing. With this model here, it is the white version, so the casing is white, fully modular. They are all white cables. They do not look to be sleeved. They look just to be the white cables here. Complete cable customization with flat white cables, an additional EPS connector, and high efficiency 16 gauge PCI Express cables deliver increased airflow and aesthetic control for a convenient building experience. I'm assuming they just mean that since the cables are thicker, they are more easily bent and hold their shape, so you can make it easier for air to pass over them, so they're not just taking up a bunch of space inside of your case. Once again, it is a semi-fanless mode with hybrid switch. Once you press that switch in and it is turned on, anything under 40% load, the fan is not going to spin, and it is going to be just nothing. There's going to be quiet. So if you are somebody who wants a very quiet machine, but you still want a great quality power supply, this is what I recommend going with. And if you want to do a color scheme of white, this is going to work for you as well. Currently at this time, I do not have a pricing guide for this power supply or a release date. I did not discuss that with my rep. The only place at the time of recording, which today is September 27th, B&H Photo was the only place that had this listed when I looked it up, and they had it listed for $129.99. Now, like I said, I cannot say if that is the correct price and if this is available yet. I've had this in my possession about 3 weeks. Work's been very busy, and I have not had time to get this done. I'm very sorry, Cooler Master. But like I said, they did provide this very kindly for me to review and give my opinion on. It has a fluid dynamic fan bearing that is going to allow less friction and make it quieter and last longer. They have some other specs over here about the fan curve. Looks like once you get about 40% load, the noise is about, it gets a little bit higher once you get up to about 1500 RPM and about 20 decibels. But at fan speed, when you get up to 1000 RPM, it's barely 10 decibels. It doesn't state whether this is actually, the blue is actually also the Cooler Master power supply, but I assume it is. At 1500 RPM, it jumps up about 10 decibels. They do have a fan curve here. Looks like the power supply itself is 150 millimeters wide and 166.5 millimeters deep. That's including the hybrid button when it is off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and flip this bad boy over, and we're going to go ahead and open it up. I'm going to go ahead and turn it around right here, so you guys can get a nice view when you open the box here. There you go. So we got a V Gold Series V2 user guide. So it comes in 550, 650, 750, and 850. Now, I'm not sure if they have bigger models in this. Like I say, the original V I had was a V1000. I don't know if this is specific to the white model that is only going to be 550, 650, 750, and 850. But that is what is listed here on the sheet. Looks like they have a nice pinout and voltage rating for your 24-pin connector, 12-volt power connector, PCI Express connector, SATA, and peripheral or Molex connector for you that are old enough. You remember Molex, they have a pinout for what voltages you should be getting to those pins. We're going to get rid of that. As you can see, you're blessed with the Cooler Master logo on the nice bag that houses the power supply. Feels very quality, doesn't feel thin, like you can't see through it. It's thick. It feels like it has an extra layer on the inside here. And then we got this bag here. We're gonna go ahead and pull that out. We get blessed with the Cooler Master logo once again right there on that bag. I'm gonna try to keep you centered the best I can. And this is gonna house all your cables. We will come back to this after we get the power supply out of the bag. So here's the moment of truth. We are going to go ahead and pull this bad boy out. And we're gonna get rid of that box. Bloop. Ooh, I'll link it back up. All right, so let's go ahead and just peek it open. Ooh, it is so white. Looks really good. There's your button right there. We're gonna put the bag back in the box down there. And we're gonna keep everything nice and centered to the best of my ability. So as you can see, we got the Cooler Master logo right here. We're gonna bring that up to the camera. You got your Cooler Master logo right there. You got your wall outlet in, your power switch, and you got your hybrid switch right here. Very tactile. I don't know if you can really hear that clicking, but it is not something that you would easily hit moving your computer around and turn that on or off by accident. Let's go this way. So on this side, you got the Cooler Master logo once again with the V650 rating. Looks very nice. I wish this would be on the other side as well. I'm not sure if it is. We're going to get there. But if it's not, I wish it would be. So if you flipped it and had your fan sucking in air from the case side, you would get to see that if you have it visible inside of your case. We're going to go to the back here. So it looks like we got the 18 plus 10 motherboard power connector here. It says 18 pin and 10 pin. It's 28 pins. That's a lot there. It must be that extra EPS connector, I'm assuming. Looks like you got 4 8-pin PCIe and CPU connectors. Doesn't really say which ones are CPU and which ones are PCI Express. I'm assuming you can use any for your CPU and any for your PCI Express power. And you got 3 peripheral connectors for HDD SATA. So with the 650 watt, they obviously don't expect you to be loading this thing up with dual GPUs or tons of hard drives or peripherals or anything like that. So yeah, but what I do like so far, just looking at it, is black connectors with black screws to do the black and white aesthetic. We're gonna go ahead and go to the other side here. We got the 650 watt. This is a sticker. It looks kind of matte, so it's a little bit hard to read. I'm gonna bring that right on up to the camera. See if you can get a good look at that. There you go, it's good. I don't know if it's really focusing too well or anything. But we're gonna pull that back down. I'm gonna go ahead and read off a little bit to you. So through the mat here, AC input is 100 to 240 volts. DC output on the plus 5 volt rail is 20 amps. On the plus 3.3 volt rail, it's 20 amps. So you're getting 40 amps in total, I would assume, off of those 2 rails. I'm not an electrical engineer, so correct me if I'm wrong. It says you should get a total power of 120 watts off of those 2 rails combined. So maybe you're looking at 60 and 60 split between them. The 12 volt rail is going to deliver 54.1 amps at 649.2 watts. Your minus 12 volt rail is 0.3 amps with 3.6 watts. And your plus 5 VSB is going to give you 3 amps with 15 watts, 650 watt power supply. Like I said, non-electrical engineer, not sure how you got 649 here and 120 here, and you're still only getting a 650 watt rating. Maybe this is just what they know it'll do, but you got a little bit of wiggle room there if you need to run like 700 watts. But it's at least rated for 650 watts with 80 plus gold certification. Let's see. Oh, and now we'll go ahead and go here. So now you get the top of the power supply or the bottom, depending on how you orientate it in your case. Once again, we have a warranty screw here. I'm sure there's a black screw on there, but we got black screws for everything here. Nice honeycomb design over the 135 millimeter fan. And you got your black Cooler Master logo right there that is just a little off center, but I mean, sticking these on all day, whether it's done by hand or by a machine, you're not going to get them all perfect. But it is still a very nice design, very lightweight, not super heavy. like not overly heavy. Like it's still quality heavy, but it's not like, oh, a big chungus heavy. Let me just squeeze it. I know it's like a really silly test. Not a lot of give, not a lot of flex in it. I've taken other power supplies and I've been able to like bend the aluminum very easily, even on some 700 or 800 watt models. Like and it has literally bent or crumpled under the pressure, and I don't have very strong grip, so this is very quality made here. The only thing I can really see that I wonder why power supply makers have not done is your case comes with a filter most time over the power supply, but as I was saying earlier, some people like to have this vent up so they can see their logo and see their fan and see other things. And sometimes it makes cable routing easier with your modular cables. Everybody's different, but it's hard to clean this fan unless you're willing to, one, void your warranty. Not sure really how that works anymore, because all this stuff with right to repair, that's a totally different story. But some people can't take these apart and clean them because all the dust and everything that builds up on the fan blades, like compressed air is not going to get all of that all the time. So I would wonder why not Cooler Master, but power supply makers in particular have not made like a removable fan where it is pressure contact on a certain edge to a PCB and you can unlatch it, clean it, and latch it back, but there still be some type of protection separating you from the internal components so you don't electrocute yourself when taking it apart. That's just something that I think could be done. That would be really cool. Maybe that'd be something that I let Cooler Master know. They'll see the video and I'll get back to my rep. And maybe it's something they've thought about or haven't, but give you one last look around the power supply here. As you can see, there's your 650 watt logo with the Cooler Master. I'm gonna give you another shot at the rear here. I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer. And then we're gonna flip it, give you another shot of this. Don't know how clear that's going to be, and then give you another shot of the back. Well, you think I could hold this thing level, but I can't. There you go. So now we're going to set this to the side, and now we're going to get to the cables. All right, so let's crack this open. Velcro. Stand up. So it looks like you're going to get a power supply cable, which is your typical power supply cable. You are going to get some zip ties and also some felt Velcro ties to manage your cables. And you get 4 black screws to hold them in. I'm just gonna open this up and just take them out and see. And you get 1, 2, 3 of the Velcro style, and maybe 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the normal zip ties. Set those to the side, and we can see in here all the white cables. So yeah, they are not sleeved at all. Let's just go ahead and pull them all out of the bag here. I'll be off screen for a minute. Bag is very nice, like I said, with the V1000, very similar bag. Very nice. Let's try to get all this. That was a chunker. So looks like we got one PCI Express connector, and it says CPU CMPSU, so Cooler Master PSU. So not sure if that is going to just mean it will only plug into Cooler Master power supplies. Come on, focus. I don't think it's going to focus. That's unfortunate. But it says CMPSU on there. CMPSU here, so CPU connector here. Let's see, PCI Express as well. 2 8-pins, yep, 2 8-pins, Cooler Master power supply, CPU connector right there, that is a solid 8-pin. Then you're going to get 2 SATA power cables to plug into the power supply. And so you get 1, 2, 3, you get 4 SATA connectors on each cable, I believe. Yep, 4 SATA connectors on each cable. 1 Molex connector with 4 Molexes on it, so I guess RGB strips or older RGB strips. Certain motherboards may have Molex power to give some additional power to PCI Express slots. You get 1 of those, and then you got your 24 pin power connector, and your 18 plus 10 pin connector for the actual power supply. We're gonna unwrap this here. This is pretty thick. Oh, that is actually really nice. That's very flimsy, but it is easy to work with. Everything stays in like line. So I like that. I could easily route it. We can bend it very easily and make it where it's going to plug into the computer very easily, the motherboard, and it's not going to be like tugging on the wires. Would have liked to see braided cables over this, but I mean, like I say, that may be something that's going to be in the final design, because I don't know if this is the final design for this power supply. But very nice. I mean, easy to flex, but not too hard where you feel like you're going to break something. Very nice, very quality cable. I'm gonna lay it all out right here. Let's see if I can lay all the cables out. Let me get the power supply back up off the floor here. And that is our unboxing of the Cooler Master V650 V2 Gold White Edition power supply. Like I said, I'm going to reiterate this is not a paid promotion. This is not paid sponsorship. This was kindly sent in by Cooler Master after I reached out to them, just seeing if they would send anything in for review, or if they had any review items available, or doing any beta testing. And I was kind enough to get a response from the power supply rep. We had about a week and a half, 2 week conversation, and he agreed to send me this power supply. So hopefully he will enjoy this video. Once again, this is Tony from Tech Talk with Tony. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Come again. We are out. Thank you.